The C-17's engines whined as they began their descent, a sound that had been the soundtrack to my life for the past 18 months. I pressed my forehead against the cool, vibrating window, watching the familiar patchwork of my hometown emerge from the morning haze. A slow, steady thrum of anticipation built in my chest. Home. I was finally home. Not just home, but home in time. My dad's 65th birthday was in 3 days. A milestone. I had a signed, limited edition print of his favorite baseball player from the 1975 World Series tucked carefully in my rucksack. I could already picture his face, the way his eyes would crinkle at the corners, the surprised bark of laughter, the gruff, "Ah, son, you shouldn't have," that he always said, but never meant. My phone, dead for the long flight, chirped to life as we taxied on the runway. A cascade of generic welcome messages from the carrier, a few from buddies, and then, one from my stepmom, Annette. "Finally have service. We're so excited for you to be home." A smile touched my lips. Then, another message bubble popped up immediately after. I must have received it just as the plane's doors sealed. "Actually, honey, wait. Can we talk?" My brow furrowed. Before I could type a response, a third message came through. This one was different. The tone was off. Jarring. "It's better without you. Don't come." I stared at the screen. The words, black on a bright white background, didn't compute. It was like reading a sentence in a foreign language I'd once known but had long forgotten. "It's better without you." The 7 most painful words in the English language, strung together with brutal efficiency. The soldier in me took over. The part that had learned to compartmentalize panic, to shove emotion into a locked box and focus on the facts. My heart was a frantic drum against my ribs, but my breathing remained even. My thumb hovered over the screen. I typed a simple, 2-word reply. The only one that felt safe, that gave nothing away. "Roger that." I didn't ask why. I didn't plead. I just acknowledged. Annette had shown her hand, however clumsily, and in that moment, a cold, hard certainty crystallized in my gut. Blood doesn't mean family. They did not treat you with respect. The homecoming I'd dreamed of, the one I'd clung to during long, sweltering nights in the desert, was a mirage. But while a mirage vanishes, this betrayal was solid, a wall I needed to scale or break down. I wasn't going to charge in blind. If this was a war, I needed intelligence. I didn't go home. I went to a quiet, anonymous hotel downtown, paying in cash. The first thing I did was call my old platoon sergeant, Mike "Gunny" Henderson, now a private investigator. "Captain," he answered, his voice rough with sleep. "You back on soil?" "I am, and I need a favor, Gunny. Quiet and fast." "Name it." I gave him the broad strokes. Annette. The text. My suspicion that something was deeply wrong. "Consider it done," he said. "All business now. I'll have a look at the public records, property, finances, see if anything's moved." While Gunny worked his digital magic, I worked my own. I logged into the joint banking account I shared with my father. It had been our arrangement since I enlisted. I'd deposit a portion of my pay to help with the mortgage on the old house, the one my mother had loved before she died. A way to feel connected, to contribute. The balance was shockingly low. Over the past year, large, regular withdrawals had bled it dry. 5,000 here, 1,000 there. The memos were vague. Home improvement, investment, family expense. My father, a retired accountant, was meticulous. He would never be so vague. This was Annette. Next, I pulled up the county assessor's website. A few clicks, and the property record for my childhood home filled the screen. My blood ran cold. The house wasn't in my father's name anymore. It had been quietly transferred 6 months ago into a trust. The name of the trust was the Henderson Family Living Trust, but my name wasn't listed as a beneficiary. It was just Annette and her son from a previous marriage, Jason. They were erasing me. Systematically, coldly, they were dismantling my father's life and my place in it. Gunny called back 2 hours later. "It's not good, Cap," he said, his voice grim. "The house is gone, like you saw. I also dug into that investment memo. There's a new luxury RV parked at the house, registered to Jason. And your father? He's been in and out of the hospital for minor cardiac issues. Nothing major, but it's been kept quiet. It seems Annette has been his sole point of contact, controlling the narrative. The pieces snapped together with terrible logical clarity. My father, weakened by health scares. Annette, seizing control. Jason, the spoiled freeloader, enjoying the spoils. And me, the dutiful son and soldier, funding my own betrayal from 7,000 miles away. The sadness was a physical weight, a leaden ball in my stomach, but it was quickly being forged in the furnace of a cold, clear rage. They never thanked you for your kindness. They saw it as a weakness. I had my facts. Now it was time to take action. This wasn't about screaming matches or physical confrontation. That was their level. This was about surgical strikes. This was about liberation. I spent the next 48 hours moving with a focused, methodical precision I'd learned on the battlefield. First, I reclaimed my financial future. I went to the bank, presented my military ID, and proof of the fraudulent withdrawals. The bank manager, a stern woman with a son in the Marines, was appalled. She helped me immediately separate the account, freezing the remaining funds and initiating a fraud investigation that would inevitably land on Annette and Jason. Second, I protected my father. I couldn't get to him physically, not yet, but I could arm him with the truth. I wrote a letter, not an emotional rant, but a simple, factual timeline. Dates of the bank withdrawals, the transfer of the house, the purchase of the RV. I included photocopies of the documents. I ended it with 5 words. I love you. Call me. I sent it via certified mail, ensuring only he could sign for it. Third, I dealt with the house. The house my mother had chosen, the house I'd grown up in. They thought they had stolen it, but I knew something they didn't. My mother, in her will, had left me a life estate in the property. A legal nuance my father had explained to me when I turned 18, one I'd forgotten. It meant that as her direct descendant, I had a legal right to the property for the duration of my life. Annette's trust was built on a foundation of sand. I visited a lawyer, a sharp, no-nonsense woman named Ava Rossi. I showed her the documents. Her eyes gleamed. We can tie this up in courts for years, she said. They'll never be able to sell it, leverage it, or truly call it theirs. They're squatters in a house you legally control. Do it, I said. Finally, I chose me. I packed my bags. I had a job offer out in Colorado, a fresh start with a company that valued veterans, a life surrounded by mountains and silence, not the ghosts of a family that never was. You reclaimed your life. You finally chose you, and that's the bravest move anyone can make. As my plane lifted off from the city I'd once called home, 72 hours after I'd first read Annette's text, I felt no triumph, no glee, only a profound, echoing quiet. I didn't view this as revenge, but as liberation. I had cut the rotten ropes that bound me to a sinking ship. I was free. I landed in Denver, the air crisp and clean, a stark contrast to the heavy humidity I'd left behind. I powered on my phone as the Uber wound its way towards the mountains. It exploded, a cacophony of beeps, buzzes, and vibrations. The screen flooded with notifications, missed calls, voicemails, text messages. Annette, 15 missed calls. Dad, 8 missed calls. Jason, 3 missed calls. Unknown number, 5 missed calls. Probably a lawyer. I didn't listen to the voicemails. I didn't need to. The texts told the whole story. Annette, how could you do this to your father? He's having a heart attack. Annette, the bank is freezing our accounts. You're destroying this family. Annette, call me right now. This is a misunderstanding. Then my father. His texts were fragmented, desperate. Dad, son, the letter. Is this true? Dad, Annette is saying you're trying to steal from us. The house. Dad, please call me. I don't understand what's happening. And finally, one that came through just an hour ago. Dad, I'm at St. Joseph's. I'm okay, but we need to talk. She's gone. She and Jason packed the RV and left. The lawyer called about the life estate. I'm so sorry, son. I was blind. I'm so sorry. I read that last one twice. The leaden ball in my stomach dissolved, replaced by a sharp, poignant ache. He knew. He finally saw. I leaned my head back against the seat, watching the majestic Rockies rise before me. I felt a single, hot tear trace a path down my cheek. It wasn't for the house, or the money, or the betrayal. It was for the loss of what I'd thought we were. It was for the father who had been too weak to see, and for the son who had to become a soldier to save himself. I typed a single reply, to my father only. I'm glad you're safe. I'm starting a new life out west. The door is open when you're ready to walk through it. I love you. I blocked Annette's and Jason's numbers. I deleted the rest of the messages. I looked at the road ahead, winding into the vast, open possibility of a future I had chosen for myself. The war was over. The peace was mine. I wish peace and joy for you and the people you choose to share your life with. And for the first time in a long time, I believed I could find it.